fantastic two-piece band hailing from New London, Connecticut. You just heard a little Bedroom Rehab Corporation here on the Tony Jones Show. Red Over Red, the name of their album. That track, Captain Dammit. And these days, one of my favorite bands to spin here on the program. You just heard from the Volcano Kings off of the album Music for an Exotic Monster Beach Party in Outer Space, Volume 1. As I mentioned, kids, don't try it at home. The name of that track, Surfing on Chainsaws. Chances are, music you've heard here first on the Tony Jones Show. As we continue, George Garner is my co-host, Tommy DeNucci in studio, filmmaker extraordinaire. I want to lay a heavy one on you, Tommy.
Hit me with it.
This is a heavy one. We have a lot of people listen to this show, up-and-coming musicians, up-and-coming broadcasters, up-and-coming filmmakers. What advice would you offer up to a younger kid, maybe thinking about taking a film class, he wants to get into what you're doing?
Just make films, you know. Don't read books. Don't do any of that stuff. Just make them. Just get your camera, get your mother's camera, get your cell phone camera, and make movies. You know?
Don't listen to negativity.
Exactly. Don't let people put you down. And just, if they're 2 minutes long, if it's a 1 minute short, just make something. You know.
That is, and it seems like some of the younger kids are a little resistant into what we in radio would call getting your chops. Going out there and doing it and screwing up a little and learning from your mistakes.
You're right. Everyone thinks they're Martin Scorsese right off the bat.
They want to go out. They want to be top of the pops on their first run.
Make crappy movies for a long time until you get good at it. Even, like I said, if they're on your cell phone, just, you know, it's like anything else, man. You just got to do it.
Yeah, the bottom line is you're going to be crappy at whatever you're trying to do for at least the first few years.
Of course.
No matter what it is.
That's the beauty part of life, isn't it, guys? Come on.
Yeah.
And I think that also in that, and I don't know if you have anybody personally, but if you line yourself up with a good mentor, someone who's going to be honest with you.
Totally.
And take that feedback to heart, it is really something that you can work with. Is there a situation...
Well, I would say for sure Chad Verdi's that guy for me. You know, we have our producer-director relationship, and he's not afraid to let me run with the ball and let me be creative, but he's also not afraid to be like, oh, hold on, wait a second. You know, is that the best way to approach this or whatever, you know? So
he's not afraid to say...
Yeah, he'll rein me in if need be.
What we in Rhode Island would say, not so much.
Exactly.
So we talked about a few movies. What else is on tap? Are you concentrating on this next project? Are you writing more?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of exciting. We sort of have this pipeline in place with Universal through Screen Media where we're going to be putting out a lot of content, and we have basically a contract with them to put out 4 movies in the next year. So we're going to be busy. As soon as we finish Army of the Damned, we're going into production on a romantic comedy in June. And then in October, there's a film that I wrote. Being an Italian kid from Cranston, Rhode Island, I've always wanted to make kind of my Italian-American street picture, kind of mob story type thing. Sure. And I have a film called Burn the Saint that I've been writing that I'm really trying to get off the ground, which is...
From Cranston, I would think you might have called it Me and Vinny Paz.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. The Vinny Paz project is on the docket for Verdi Films, which is the sister company of our company, Woodhaven Films. So a little bit of that, too. But Burn the Saint's a lot of fun. It's basically about a young, up-and-coming wise guy who has to hide out in a mental institution and fake crazy to lay low from hitmen, basically.
And I've noticed with some of a lot of the smaller filmmakers, actually, that they kind of get burned out.
I'm like 5'11".
Well, little people make great films, or... as I often tell people, 2 little people in an overcoat. But I've noticed a lot of the small-time filmmakers, they get burnt out on the horror. They go over to the romantic comedy. Do you think you'll ever put horror behind you, or you?
Well, I think what's something interesting about when people watch Self-Storage, I'm really interested to see the feedback because it is a horror film, but there's a lot of comedy in it, and it's got its pops, and I think people are going to find that, there's a little bit of humor into the Tom DeNucci style of filmmaking, and I think it'll kind of lend itself to some hopefully lighter pieces in the future. Why not, right? We don't always have to rip someone's throat out, do we?
And by the way, I noticed that we only have 5 minutes left of the show, and Tony Jones has omitted to ask about influences of a guest. I haven't heard the influences question.
Yeah, no. Who would you point to for filmmaking influences?
Well, I'd say, my big 3 are probably... Scorsese, Tarantino, and Sly Stallone. If you put those three guys in a blender and mix them up, you'd probably
that would be a great horror movie.
Yeah,
right there.
you'd have a horror movie. You'd be wanted in several states. You'd be on every TMZ show.
And Tony Danza is pressing the button.
Tony Danza, and he's like, "Who's the boss now?"
So how do people get a hold of you if they're interested in checking out some of the films?
I'm on Twitter at Tom DeNucci. And you can also find me on Facebook, Tommy DeNucci. You can check out our website. Just Google Woodhaven Production Company or Woodhaven Films. It's so easy to find people today with the internet. It's really scary. Just type anything down and you'll find it.
Do you ever go online and look at one of your ex-girlfriends and just say, "Oh, she's disgusting now"? Or
let me Google it.
Or some kid you went to high school with, he was like, big man on campus, and now he works at Home Depot.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
He has a skullet.
Yeah, that makes me feel better.
His wife's 500 pounds, and he's got 6 kids, and you're like, I feel fantastic.
So, yeah. The universe is a pretty fair place sometimes.
Just the fact that somebody else has kids and I don't, that's victory right there.
Yeah, that helps. Thank you, Tommy. Continued success.
Thank you very much for having me on the show, guys.
I hope you can come back, and as things roll on for you over the next few years, we'll talk about...
Thanks, man.
And for our international listeners, Rhode Island really is a great place to make a movie. You cannot beat it. There is just so much going on. You can go from the beach to South Providence in, a 20-minute drive?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Less, so.
Yeah, all the abandoned buildings.
There is a ton of...
Every time a business closes, you have a horror film set.
I'm sure that you wouldn't endorse it, and I wouldn't endorse it for legal reasons, but if you're doing some guerrilla filming, you could just walk into an abandoned building around here and
if you don't fall through the rotted out floor, you'll make a good movie.
You didn't hear that from us, right?
No, we would never condone that.
Thanks again, Tommy. George.
Thank you.
Thank you.
BJ Snowden in studio next time, and if you'll allow me to be shameless, I am up for Best Radio Personality in the Providence Phoenix Best Awards. Go to thephoenix.com/best. Scroll down to Radio Personality and click on your old pal, Tony Jones. And until next time, I'm going to leave you with a little bit of Osaka Popstar. This is a song about Captain Crunch. Bye, everybody. Bye.